Trixie Messes Everything Up by Sleepy Panda. Chapter 3. Trixie, the Great and Powerful Mare. Trixie set her quill down and looked over at her letter one more time. Dear Madam Mare, it has come to my attention that you seem to be getting old. Your hair is grey. Mine is a little too, but I'm unique. When you die, I would like your permission to take your place as ruler. Your plain town needs a great and powerful ruler such as myself to take charge. Also, I just want to be within blasting range of Twilight's no. Ponyville would be surely flourish and prosper under my rule. Please consider all of this. Of course, I could just burn down the city hall and take your place, but I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. Sincerely, Trixie, the Great and Powerful. Satisfied, Trixie rolled up the letter and fastened it with her own seal. She had been very polite in the letter, and was positive she would get the job. Now to deliver it. Trixie poked her head out of her trailer, and saw a male mare flying by. She had derpy eyes and bubbles for a cutie mark. "Hey, you!" Trixie shouted. "Derpy eyes!" The Pegasus heard her and flew down. "Do you need something?" she asked, choosing not to comment on being called derpy eyes. She was used to it. "Deliver this to the mare for me, will you?" Derpy nodded and flew off with the letter to the mayor's office, which was about 20 feet away. Crashing through the door, she handed the letter over to the first pony to help her up, and flew off to continue her mail duties. The next day, Trixie was performing at one of her shows, and was just about to turn Sweetie Belle's head into a bell, when Derpy barreled into her and almost knocked her off the stage. After a great deal of cursing, Trixie reminded herself that she was trying to be on a good behavior, and managed to restrain herself from turning the Pegasus into a bonfire and raising Ponyville. Instead, she silently took the package from Derpy. With glee, she saw that it was from the mayor. Turning to the crowd, she announced, "Yesterday, I applied to become the mayor. I bet that this package contains all the things that I will need as mayor, as well as news that I am now the mayor of Ponyville." She ignored the angry comments from her audience and opened the package. The package contained a stink bomb, which promptly exploded into her face. The roars of laughter from the crowd angered her, and she shouted, "This is not funny!" "Actually, it is, old mare," a stallion laughed. "Old mare?" Trixie snarled. "The great and powerful Trixie demands to know why you called her an old mare." Some pony threw a mirror at her, and she caught it with her magic. She took one look at herself and screamed. "Ah! The old bat must have put an aging spell in there!" Humiliated, she ran off the stage to hide until she could find a way to reverse the spell. And in the back of the crowd, one mare smiled smugly. "Who's old now?" the mare said softly to herself. Chapter 4. Too Much Stuff. Trixie was walking through the park with her nose in the air, when she tripped over something and fell flat on her face. Furious, she picked herself up to confront the offending object, but stopped short when she saw what it was. It was a sack with a note attached to the side of it. It read, "Dear stranger, congratulations on discovering my life savings. After I obtained all this money, I realized that I wanted to spend the rest of my life exploring Tartarus, and that I wouldn't need all this money. I left it out for any pony to find, for I believe in making others happy. I would have donated it to charity, but I have absolutely no idea how to do that. Enjoy your money. The bag has about 5 million bits in it." Trixie flung the bag over her back and did a little excited dance before galloping at full speed to the store. In the hours that followed, she bought a hot tub, a golden statue of herself, a giant diamond, an assortment of fancy overpriced pastries, lots of other unnecessary things, and a mansion to house it all in. Later that night, when she was relaxing in her hot tub, with her personal assistant feeding her fancy chocolates, she realized that with all the stuff she had, she wouldn't be able to exit her bathroom. Panicked, she sent a letter to Twilight Sparkle, who would surely know how to fix all this. Twilight Sparkle replied back, suggesting that maybe she should donate all of her stuff to more unfortunate ponies. Help others? No way! Trixie fired up her horn and blew up her entire mansion. Unfortunately, her old house was located next to the mansion, so that blew up too. A couple of days later, she tried to go to a homeless shelter, but they kicked her out because of the way she had so cautiously wasted her money. Trixie was forced to get a job as a sewage cleaner for the next week until she could save up to pay the rent for her trailer. Chapter 5. Trixie Goes to Tartarus. Trixie snuggled deeper into her blankets on her bed, keeping her eyes closed. Beds always felt heavenly in the morning, and this morning was no exception. In fact, this was the most comfortable she had ever been in her bed for as long as she could remember. She wanted the morning to last forever, but as she felt herself start to fully wake up, she knew it couldn't. With a sigh, Trixie opened her eyes and found herself not in her own bed. Not knowing what else to do, she screamed. Oddly, she found her voice rather high-pitched. The next second, she was very forcefully yanked upwards by unicorn magic. The unicorn magic was of an angry lavender unicorn that Trixie knew all too well. "Trixie, why are you in Spike's bed? If you don't get a decent explanation, I'm blasting you to Tartarus!" Twilight shouted, glaring daggers at Trixie. I don't know," Trixie said, panicking. "I just woke up here." Twilight snorted at this. "A likely story." She threw Trixie into a bookshelf and turned to Spike. "Spike, take a letter," she ordered. When the young dragon got his quill ready, she said, "Dear Princess Celestia, I ask for your permission to throw a pony into the depths of Tartarus. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle," she finished. Grinning evilly at Trixie, she cast a spell that banished her to Tartarus. Trixie appeared in the darkness of Tartarus and stood still for a minute before walking off into a random direction. She walked right into a wall. Massaging her muzzle, she growled, "Oh, I'm so killing Twilight Sparkle as soon as I get out of here! I'm taking a shish kebab and—" Trixie froze, sure that she heard something. Quietly creeping forward, she managed to make out an angry male voice shouting, "I, the majestic King Sombra, ruler and conqueror of the Crystal Empire, command you to flush!" What the hey? Trixie thought. The voice was coming to her right, where a tiny bit of light could be seen from a mile away. Trixie figured that the light was coming from the same place as the voice and slowly started to make her way over there, making her hoof steps as quietly as possible. A second voice spoke, but Trixie couldn't make out the words. Whatever they were, they angered the owner of the first voice. "And you!" the first voice yelled, making Trixie jump a little. The voice said something else, but she couldn't really hear it. She could only catch little snippets of what he was saying, such as, "Get out!" and "Stupid toilet!" Trixie nearly jumped out of her skin when a loud blast was heard, and the area was illuminated by a giant ball of fire. A third voice joined in the argument, and Trixie heard some bad words, as her mother called them. The third voice wasn't very happy at something. Taking a few steps closer to hear better, she suddenly found herself face to face with Nightmare Moon. Nightmare Moon said, "You don't belong here. Although some ponies would argue that you would certainly deserve to rot here in Tartarus." The black alicorn then closed her eyes and used her magic to send Trixie back to her trailer. Trixie sighed of relief and climbed into her own bed to take a nap, hoping that she wouldn't wake up in another one of her enemies' beds.